Hello, guys. My name is Saeed Mohammed. Today, I'm going to talk to you about concussions and how it affects America's youth. I'm just going to start by saying thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak to you guys today. I really appreciate that. Contact sports has been a long-standing past in America's history. Society has raised its youth on playing football, hockey, wrestling, and other contact sports. Knowledge surrounding such head injuries resulting from these sports have drastically changed over the years. Research has found that due to the underdevelopment of the brain, children who participate in contact sports have a higher probability of head injury. However, participation in these contact sports has not wavered, and they've actually been more popular. Due to the high risk of serious head injury, America's youth should not be allowed to participate in contact sports. Due to the heightened level of technological advances over the past decades, hospitals and specifically doctors have now been able to identify a vast majority of symptoms that correspond with head injuries. By definition, Mayo Clinic defined a concussion as being caused by a sudden blow to the head or neck or upper body that causes the brain to slide back and forth forcefully against the inner walls of the skull. Also, elaborating on main causes, the Mayo Foundation of Medical Education and Research found that the symptoms of a head injury were as follows: headache, or a feeling of pressure in the head, temporary loss of consciousness, confusion, or feeling as if in a fog, dizziness, and seeing stars also included on the list. Some examples of these events that may cause an injury like this could be a car crash, contact sports collision, a bike accident, falling, and being violently shaken. But in some cases, when an individual has an head injury, the symptoms may not be prevalent right away. Concent- Concentration, memory, complaints, irritability, personal changes, sensitive and to light noise, sleep disturbances, psychological adjustment problems, and depression are some of the warning signs that an individual possibly may receive during a head injury. Mayo Clinic also referred to specifically in contact sports. At any time a person participating that an individual's changes from the tragic brain injury, like a concussion, is increased. Unlike adults who are able to communicate with symptoms, it may be more difficult for children to realize that they have a concussion. But once a concussion is identified, proper recovery is detrimental. Recovering from a head injury like a concussion seems simple, but if not done correctly or long enough, it could potentially cause more harm to the individual. When a person suffers a concussion, they must take proper care of themselves to ensure speedy recovery. The Mayo Clinic recommends that the rest of is the most appropriate way to allow your brain to recover from a concussion and to heal properly. Mayo Clinic also provides you with a list of things that you should avoid. Retaining all the critical functions of the brain is solely based on the severity of the injury and how the individual recovers. Playing video games, watching TV, schoolwork, reading, texting, using your cellular device, and using a computer are all activities that could potentially trigger worse symptoms and could cause further damage. The BMC Public Health formulated a story on children's screen time and the role that adults have on managing the time. After conducting research on the topic, the researchers found that high screen time in children is a and its detrimental health is a major public problem. From the research that BMC Public Health provided, one that conclude that the level of the screen time in adolescents are higher than adults, knowing that the harmful causes of a concussion and likelihood of reoccurrence is not treated properly, which adolescents negatively adhere to, which is rest, having adolescents avoid head injuries should take precedence. The reasoning provided in the paragraph above also solidifies that the argument of the discussion activities that could cause head injury specifically in an individual's adolescence years should be avoided. The case that children already have an issue of screen time, and knowing that the only way to recovery from a proper concussion is adolescence, would have a hard time staying away from screen time. Advantages of diagnosing instruments in recent years have allowed doctors to identify a wide array of symptoms that are correlated with head injuries. These symptoms were previously undiagnosed. The potential of an individual's child could present symptoms due to head injury is illogical. I also have some statistics that I will be passing around on a piece of paper so you guys can get a better understanding of the topic that I'm talking about. I want to thank you for the opportunity again, and have a good day.